Guys, James Carter TV here to recap the Denver Broncos defeat over the New England Patriots. And I had this for about 10 weeks now. I mean, I was saying I'm looking at this Broncos game, I'm circling it, and I'm putting a big L for the Patriots for this Broncos game. And I already know what Patriots fans and Patriots supporters and some impartial parties are going to say. The Patriots lost this game because of bad calls, and you may be right on that somewhat. But my argument is this. You know, every team in the NFL goes through bad calls. And ultimately, the Patriots allowed two deep bombs for to allow the Broncos to get as close as they did. And then there were some ticky-tack calls. Okay, it was ticky-tack. I'll buy that. I don't think it was completely bad. I just think it was a little ticky-tack. Would I have called them? No. But the Patriots are, they're crying because they're finally being oppressed and they're finally getting bad calls. Well, congratulations. The rest of us in the NFL, we've been going through this for a while. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, and you're not going to hear about this. But the Tennessee Titans lost today because of a bad holding call. They called holding on B.W. Webb, Tennessee Titans cornerback. That lost the game for the Tennessee Titans. Did you hear about it? No, because no one cares. So I don't want to hear about the Patriots crying and whining because they lost this game because of a bad call. Teams everywhere in the NFL lose games because of bad calls. You still went to overtime and you still lost. It was 24-24. You got the ball first. You went 3 and out. Or I think you got one first down and then you went 3 and out. Whatever. You gave the ball back, you let them go straight down the field in about 5 plays, and that was all she wrote. I don't want to hear you crying. I don't want to hear it. You lost the game multiple times. You had opportunities to win the game. You lost the game. The end of the game. Sorry. And now Rob Gronkowski is out. He's injured. He's done. Torn ACL. Torn MCL. I'm sorry. He's a great tight end when healthy. The problem is he's not consistently healthy. And now you're talking about going through the playoffs without Rob Gronkowski. Now the one thing on your side is this. Actually, there's multiple things. Tom Brady, number 1. Number 2, Bill Belichick. Number 3, who's really great in the AFC? I think you have the Bengals that are really good, but they've yet to win a playoff game in the Andy Dalton era. We need to see that happen. Hell, in the Marvin Lewis era, what am I talking about? This goes back to 2000. So, they've yet to win a game in the Andy Dalton, Marvin Lewis era, and just the Marvin Lewis era in general. Are they finally going to break that trend? I don't know. You have the Broncos, who you played today. They look tough. They could beat you, but hey, if you guys figure it out, you could beat them as well. The Steelers, look out for them. The Chiefs are coming too. But I'm not buying anyone else. I mean, if you ask me today who's the best team in the AFC, I'm still picking the Patriots. Will you get to the Super Bowl? I think it's unlikely. I think you still could. I give it a 30% chance. I think you're the likeliest team to get there, but you're still unlikely to get there, if that makes sense. Because if I had to put it like 30% Patriots, 25% Broncos, 20% Bengals, 20% Steelers, so you're the likeliest team to get there, but you're still unlikely, if that makes any sense whatsoever. All right, so the Denver Broncos, so they get this victory. Brock Osweiler must start the rest of the season. Unless if he just comes out and stinks in a couple games, then we can reevaluate things. But as of right now, he led to the victory. He played well, despite the fact that Demaryius Thomas had one of his usual boneheaded games every year. This was the year. I mean, this was the game of this year. Like, this guy he can just be the biggest bonehead. He's so talented, so fast, so big, so strong. But every now and then, 1 game a year, 2 games a year, he's an absolute bonehead. He forgets how to play the damn position. He drops balls. He's off the same page with his receiver or with his quarterback. It's absolutely ridiculous. This was the game today. He had 1 nice catch, and that was it. I mean, he was targeted, 11 times? He had 1 catch? That's absolutely absurd, ridiculous. You can't do that if you're Demaryius Thomas. And yet, the Broncos won the game, and this is a lot due to the running back resurgence as Ronnie Hillman and C.J. Anderson start to run well, start to run better. They are going to be threats upcoming, so continue to watch those running backs as they develop. But I picked the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl preseason. I stuck with that midseason, and I'm sticking with that now after seeing them knock off the undefeated New England Patriots. Now, let's talk about the rest of the games today that I was unable to talk about because I missed. Actually, I fell asleep during that Steelers-Seahawks game, and that's so odd because it was a high-scoring game and all that. I just been tired lately, so I just fell asleep. I missed it. I'm sorry. So, this is what I understood. It was a it was a shootout in Seattle. Oh, excuse me. Wow, I'm dying. I have Walter White lung cancer. All right, so Seattle, they absolutely ran the ball or threw the ball all over the Pittsburgh defense, which is surprising because the Pittsburgh defense, although they are not very talented, they had been playing well this season. They've been averaging about 18 points given up per game. That's pretty good. But today, I don't know what happened. Russell Wilson threw all over them. And this is the first time in his career he's really done this. I think this was the first time. It must have been the first time he had 5 touchdowns. And that's saying something because Jameis Winston did it his first year. All right, so it's odd that it's the first time, but hey, Russell Wilson finally shows me, hey, I can throw the ball, I can whip it, I can get huge games statistically, and I need to see more of this from Russell Wilson because the Legion of Boom is anything but. They got the ball thrown all over them today. Over 450 yards by Ben Roethlisberger given up by this Legion of Boom. So they look anything but the Legion of Boom recently, so they need to reevaluate things there. But the Seahawks look primed to make a push for the playoffs. The Falcons are choking. The Seahawks are coming. So we'll see how that develops over the upcoming weeks. We have the San Francisco 49ers. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, not much to talk about here. Most of us expected the Cardinals to win this game. You know, the Cardinals underwhelmed a little bit, though, so continue to watch out for that. The Panthers continue to be the favorite to win the NFC. We have the Washington Redskins. They beat the New York Giants today. I was expecting this, you know. The Giants are just not good enough to win. And finally, bad Eli Manning showed up. He threw 3 interceptions today. They were all pretty bad. And the Giants, they just don't know how to take the division. Now we need to seriously consider. I don't know why people haven't been considering, but we need to seriously consider the Redskins winning the NFC East. They appear to be the best team in the NFC East. They really, really, really do. And the Giants have a really tough schedule. Give me the Redskins right now. All right, next we have the San Diego Chargers. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars continue to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. With an opportunity to keep on closing in on the division lead, they lose this game. They're out of it. They're done. They're finished. And they're going to lose next week to the Tennessee freaking Titans. Go ahead and bet your money on that. They need to fire Gus Bradley. Please fire Gus Bradley for your sake. All right, next we have, and the San Diego Chargers, hey, you won a game, so that's good. All right, next we have the New York Jets that beat the Miami Dolphins today. This is what the Jets are. They need to be an offensive team. When you have Chris Ivory, Brandon Marshall, and Eric Decker, you need to be an offensive team. I know they really want to be a defensive team, and you can have a strong defense as well. But they're going to be made and break by their offense because there's a lot of weapons on that offense. Chris Ivory, once again, running the ball well. Get that running game going. That'll open things up in the passing game as well. And the Dolphins, they've already shipped this 2015 season. They don't care at all. They're probably going to win 1 or 2 more games just because they're facing bad teams. And maybe they'll upset somebody as well. But the Dolphins, they don't care. And Ryan Tannehill is not looking very good lately. That's concerning for the next head coach because now what initially looked like a very attractive head coaching job is looking less and less attractive as Ryan Tannehill plays worse and worse by the week. Kansas City beat Buffalo. Finally, Sammy Watkins shows what he can do. I think he's at the same talent level as the rest of that 2014 class. It's about time he starts performing statistically as if he is. And he's really good. I mean, I'm this guy. I scouted him coming out. I'm very much high on Sammy Watkins. Nice to see him play well today. And the Indianapolis Colts, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, the Indianapolis Colts, they keep winning games without Andrew Luck. I mean, 4-0 without Andrew Luck. And it's inexplicable, but they're winning games. Their defense plays better when Andrew Luck isn't out there turning the ball over. So good for them. And Tampa Bay not quite ready to compete for the playoffs. call me next year. Next, we have the New Orleans Saints that choked like dogs in Houston. Only put up 6 points offensively, 24 points given up to Houston. Their New Orleans defense is absolutely dreadful. It's absolutely awful. And I know they only put up 24 today. It should have been more because I think the Houston Texans had 21 just as the third quarter was beginning. I mean, that's pretty bad. I mean, so New Orleans has issues. I want Sean Payton as my Tennessee Titans head coach, but what's going on, Sean? All right, next we have, hey, I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. That's nice. Next we have the Cincinnati Bengals. They beat the St. Louis Rams. The Rams need to fire Jeff Fisher tomorrow. Will they? No. Because they're clowns, because they're stupid, because they're idiots. I mean, honestly, for Jeff Fisher, you got to get rid of this guy. I mean, this guy's leading you absolutely nowhere. 4 years of absolutely mediocre football. And hell, I don't think it's mediocre. I think it's below mediocre. I think you wish it was mediocre. I think you wish Jeff Fisher and came in was 8-8 for 4 years. Because they haven't been 8-8. I mean, I keep seeing people say Jeff Fisher will only lead you to 8-8. No. Because they haven't been 8-8. They were 7-8-1. They were 7-9. They were 6-10. And now they're going to be 5-11. So where's the 8-8? And they wish they were 8-8. All right, next we have the Minnesota Vikings that beat the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, I mean, the Falcons, I mean, they've completely stalled offensively. I mean, what's going on with this offensive team? Kyle Shanahan, he was an attractive job option for head coaches. Forget that. No one wants anything to do with Kyle Shanahan. And Dan Quinn, who was getting a lot of praise early on in the season when the Falcons were 4-0 or 5-0 or whatever they were, haven't done anything since. So you have to look at Dan Quinn. You have to say, where's your coaching, man? Because it seems like other teams are figuring you guys out, and it's not working out at all. And the Vikings might be poised for definitely clinching a playoff spot, but their schedule is still very difficult coming up. All right, guys, there are my recaps from today's games. What are yours? Comment down below. And until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.